Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel. My name is Paulina and I have a reading for you. I woke up, I'm on an early rise sleep schedule. I have a really weird sleep schedule honestly because I take naps during the day, so you might catch me here on weird times. Because I also have a dog that wakes really early. You might have a dog that wakes really early, as I think that everything in the reading has meaning. I have Virgo in the 6th house, which means my schedule is based around small creatures. Which is okay. It's always been that way. Always loved taking care of animals. But so, yeah, I just had like one more sort of hit. The way that I work is really, as I think I keep saying, it's like very sporadic. It comes in like chunks. I've taken years off of channeling, and I've also like obsessively posted for like periods of time. And I'm okay with the fact that like, well, I do get more views on TikTok, but that actually started to feel stressful for me. So I came back here because I guess I like the anonymity. And I'm more interested, I think, in building a YouTube following, because TikTok is stressful for me. Like the format, the way that it like affects my brain, it's like a little much for me. So I'm gonna focus here, and if I don't get that many views, it's okay, because maybe in 2 years from now, some random person will watch the message that I posted, and it will be meaningful and helpful for them, because I've experienced tarot in the same way in my life, with my own readings and with other people's, where time has passed and now it makes sense. And I didn't even think to click on it until now. Like there's been readings that I posted that I didn't even watch, didn't get any views. And then years later I would watch it and be like, oh my god, this is exactly what I'm going through. So you may be like in a time in your life where you're not listening to yourself really, and you're listening to a lot of other voices, which could be an old habit from growing up. I want to get some cards on that one. That 3 of Cups. Sorry for the white noise, it's from my dog. She's very temperamental. You want to be in an environment where you can be creative, where you are celebrated for your creativity, and there's open communication. You may be missing like community with other women if you're a woman, or just a creative community. If you're a man, you may also, here's how it comes in here. It may be a community of women that was very meaningful to you that have departed from your life, or you can't interact with them. Maybe some aunts and, I don't know, your mother, or however you want to think of that, maybe cousin, sister. So you're looking for that to be met again, that feminine communal need, which is a need within men as well, believe it or not, to be met by the feminine in a communal way. Okay, you're leaving a situation. You're moving on from something that's hard, and you actually may not know where you're going, is what I'm hearing. So that's really scary. And for some reason I'm picking up this image. Reminds me of A Farewell to Arms. If you've ever read that book by Hemingway, it's a beautiful book. I want to say that book is about how if we follow what feels good, we can be led to something amazing. Because the story is tragic, it ends tragically, but it's also about this guy who's just like, oh, I just like met this random girl and she was like amazing, and I fell so madly in love, and we had this kid, and I like never thought that would happen for me. He's a soldier, I think. Anyway, so like he's in a foreign land and he just randomly falls in love. This is Hemingway's writing, if you want to look it up. And then it does end sadly, but the thing is, it's still worth it to put yourself out there, is what I'm hearing. You need to realize that just because something failed in a traditional sense, in the way our society sees it, which means it doesn't have forever, like longevity that like lasted forever or something. I don't even know what that expectation is. That doesn't mean that it really is a failure. It actually means that maybe if we look at like parts work, which is coming to me really strong this morning, there's like parts of ourselves that we're also moving on from. Okay, so maybe that makes sense to you. There's been a lot of anger between you and somebody else, some fights, also a need to be on the defense, sort of misaligned family life, things not being super happy, not so sunshine and raindrops, where at one point things were really successful, maybe a really well managed family, or even just relationship. If you don't have a family, maybe you have like a bunch of animals or something. But I am seeing like a community led by two people, similar to the traditional family. So maybe you and your partner have like a bunch of plants, even. It could be that, and you like manage the plants together. And now it's like the plants are like effed up and you're not really taking care of them very well, or each other. So use that metaphor as you want, or yourselves. So there's disharmony. Let me get another card. Got the Three of Pentacles reversed. You're in an environment where people aren't working well together. It keeps coming up in these readings. There's a new deck, so it's a very new energy that I'm picking up on. At the store that I went to, the woman who I bought it from seemed very unhappy, and I tried to engage with her, and she didn't want to smile at me. So I feel like usually I would pick up on that and probably not buy the deck, because I would say that it's like negative energy, but I think there's something there that made me want to still buy it. That this person that you're dealing with, maybe your partner, is someone who is deeply disturbed. Like, it could be your partner. It could also be someone in your life that like you've maybe, since we had the family card, maybe like a parent or just a relative, someone that I can see how two siblings would manage things together too, you know, someone you manage stuff with, or even a father and a daughter might manage a crazy mother, whatever the situation is. You had like a partnership with someone, and now there's disharmony there. And I feel like there's a greater sort of inability to connect with abundance and happiness right now. It is situational, but there's just more than that. You know, Adler says that Adler is a theorist, if you want to look him up. He says that every stimulus is actually just a means to elicit the response that's already within us. So I feel like super angry at something that someone did. Yes, it's because it definitely is related to what happened. That anger is already within us, just waiting to find a touch point to let it be expressed. Okay? So you need to get real with yourself. Like, you're not just unhappy because of this situation. You've gone through a lot of sleepless nights and like loneliness that had to do with just not being able to rest. And you're going to be experiencing an ending. Maybe you felt backstabbed, but more this is about just a natural ending that you need to move on from. Eight of Wands. I feel like there's blocked communication, which keeps coming up in this deck, and I've shuffled it a million times, which is the law of attraction. So that's the energy that I'm able to pick up on right now. Just like the woman at the store who couldn't smile at me or say hi, which I don't know. I think she just is sad in her life. It's like, I'm not going to take that personally and be like, oh, it's about me. It's about her judgment of me, or she doesn't like younger women, or whatever. It's so easy to do that. I'm gonna just be like, okay, that's her stuff. That's like, I don't really care. I'm smiling because, okay, here's where it connects, okay? So sun reversed. You may be like blaming your unhappiness on these situational things, like maybe a misaligned partner or misaligned relationship, as I said, maybe like a sibling relationship that was no longer in harmony, or whatever it is. Someone that you used to manage stuff with, now you're like managing the stuff on your own, and you're like, well, it's because they left me. But then it's like, that's so easy to do, and it's not because of them. They're just allowing you to actually to feel these feelings of disappointment that you haven't connected with for a while. And so the girl at the store is a means for me to connect with those feelings of other people rejecting me that is from my childhood, from a lot of reasons that I won't talk about. But I was, even before health issues, I was an oddball. I didn't fit in, and it was a very conformist environment that I grew up in, and played alone at recess a lot. And I began to realize that I could be friends with everyone, actually, which is kind of what I ended up doing in that environment, and no one. I kind of like made it a statement, like, I kind of play alone at recess, but like, then I would have like one-on-one playdates with like every single person throughout the years, like, and still never really join any group, because that felt stifling for me. And then the groups didn't understand what I was doing at recess, which was very imaginative play that my sister and I would do on our own. So I don't know. I guess I'm trying to say, like, I depersonalized that no one played with me at recess, and still was like, want to have a play date with me. And somehow people did. Because I would make these like random other friendships in like orchestra or whatever, or English class, or that had nothing to do with who was at my recess period. Okay, do you see? Okay. And maybe I needed that space at recess to like process being around all these people all day and do my imaginative play alone in some weird corner. And maybe that's what you need to do right now. You're like, okay, you're getting back to some of these roots of like rejection that have been from your youth, kind of like me being just an oddball, and still working with the community, being like, I'll connect in the way that I know how to. That's what is the piece here. Not letting the woman at the store who like doesn't like smile back or sorry, engage with us. I'm not gonna let that. It's not about us. It's about her issue and her inability to receive joy. And you maybe be dealing with someone like that, who you keep saying, I love you. You keep, sorry for the, in the morning my asthma's bad. You may be dealing with someone who like you keep putting effort into, and they're just like, no. And that's like so punishing. It's at a certain point it does become masochism, where you're punishing yourself. There's disharmony in marriage, but also just like something that used to bring completion and like harmony is no longer doing that. Let's get a final closing card. This is like super accurate for me in my life, so it's very interesting. I'm gonna get two final cards on being called, because it's gonna be one that's vague and one that contextualizes it. Okay, the vague one is gonna be about feelings. Okay. Ooh. Okay, the feelings here are that you can't, like, you're really trapped when it's reversed. So upright, it's like this. Reversed, it's like, okay, you're blind. You're making yourself blind to a situation because you feel so trapped and stuck. And you feel like there's duality, like it's either this way or that way, and kind of damned if I do, damned if I don't. So you're just really like frozen. And when it's reversed, it's just like, I like to think of it as there is a way out of it, actually. There is a jumping off point from this situation that you're just not seeing right now. Ooh, heartbreak. Maybe dealing with some heartbreak, which actually is physical process, because when we experience emotional pain, it actually can be physically painful in the heart area, in the chest area, because of several physiological processes. But also just depression can make us tired, listless, not want to do things. Okay, sorry, this truly is our final card, the heartbreak. Let's give you more about that heartbreak card. I'm shuffling down here is what I'm doing. I'm not some like masterful shuffler like a lot of the people who want to show off on here. I'm just like shuffle normally. Okay, it's all okay though, because the other cup was about, it's really the Ten of Cups, which was the other card we got that I was like focusing so much on being about family disharmony. This is like money harmony with also a family. See the little dog, and there's a kid in there, and there's also generations. So like maybe you're gonna be able to help someone older than you that you've been worried about. So I don't want you to worry, because all abundance is coming to you, and it does have to do with a happy family situation. Maybe a new family, and I'm talking about family in a broader sense, although it literally could be your immediate family. But I feel like you're going to be part of something. It may not be now, maybe within the next 2 years. You may become part of a financial community that feels like a family, or experience success and abundance through a group that helps you. So sorry, I literally cannot stop myself. Spirit, give us our final card. It has to do with choices and illusions. What is real and what is not real? It can be so freaking hard. I want to tell you that I've been channeling love and focusing on love and meditating on love last week, as recommended by Edgar Cayce. Well, he recommends taking an ideal, which I knew was, when I listened to the audiobook, I knew it was for me, because I just had mentioned ideals in my last reading. That's how my skill works. It's little words that are very specific, that then show up later. So then he kept saying ideal, 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 and I was like, okay, this is for me. And he said, if you really want to be an open channel, pick an ideal and meditate on it all day in different ways, in waking state and in half state and in sleeping state, half wake state, sleeping state. So I chose love, because he kept saying really the best option is love. But he was like, you can also do this or this or this. But he was like, I choose love. So I was like, I have to be like Edgar Cayce. So I'm channeling love as my thing here. And I want you to know that like you feel like there's choices that you would be like hard for other people. But it's okay, because if we turn back to love, we can see that all relationships are holy. I'm really obsessed with the Course in Miracles. If you've ever heard of that. And it teaches us that like difficult relationships, and this could be anyone, you know, this could be this situation where it seems like there's some disharmony with a partnership, either romantic or just deep emotional bond. As I said, it could be a sibling or even just a close friend that you manage stuff with. Maybe you had a business with them. So the 7, you're seeing there's choices. Maybe you could move on. Maybe you could get some help together and change the dynamic. Maybe you could go different ways. Maybe you could change how you relate in general. And also the 7 for me relates to just illusion. Maybe you're feeling disillusioned with a situation. But the Course in Miracles teaches us that every relationship is holy, and there's a special thing called a special hate relationship, that actually those people are like the most important people that we start feeling feelings of hatred or anger. Maybe it's several people that you feel this way towards. because it teaches us to let go of those feelings and to see them from how God sees them. And to, maybe we're asking too much of that person. Maybe we're thinking they should be performing in our lives in a different way. Maybe we're not, as I said, seeing them how God sees them, which is someone damaged, someone wounded, someone hurting, okay? Someone struggling. And yeah, they're like pissing us off, or they're making us sad, or they're whatever it is, ruining our life. They're making detrimental things happen. They're whatever, someone getting that, all that energy, someone who's like continually, you feel tampering, okay? The 7 can be deception. But like, and you may have, yeah, felt deceived, but if we turn back to love, it's like this person is seriously disturbed, okay? And that's sad for them. And feeling the reading is ending soon. Course in Miracles teaches us that not to like make friends with everybody. It's not possible. But Thich Nhat Hanh, who was a favorite Buddhist teacher of mine, teaches, he teaches for your parents, and I'm going to offer it to extend to this relationship as well. When your parents are really triggering you, and when this person is really triggering you, or upsetting you, or like making you feel these dark feelings, see them as a child suffering. See them as like a toddler, or like 4, and see them encountering a world that is hurtful and painful. Maybe abusive parents, maybe rejection from peers, maybe some sort of traumatic experience that's too much for a child, okay? Factor that in as much as you can and go from there. And that's the reading.